is generating more controversy.
Fox 8 News has obtained a copy of a sharply worded memo from a top Agriculture Department official. John Snell tells us it threatens to turn into a first-class brawl between some federal agencies.
Yeah, I'd say environmentalists call this a land grab. The Army's move to take over 80,000 acres of the Kistachie National Forest. The fight involves the largest employer in western Louisiana, Fort Polk, and a huge chunk of Louisiana's only national forest. An amendment by Senator Bennett Johnston would transfer part of Kistachie from the Agriculture Department to the Army and roughly double the size of Fort Polk overnight.
Highly trained Army rapid deployment and
Fort Polk already uses part of the forest for training exercises, but the amendment to the defense spending bill would give the Army clear title to the land. Fox 8 News obtained a copy of a memo from Agriculture Department Undersecretary James Lyons, who objects to the amendment and, quote, the failure of the Army to adhere to proper procedures. Critics say by going through Congress, the Army's making an end run around the normal requirement for public hearings. The memo drew applause from environmentalists who had worried about the Forest Service's low-key response.
They've been a little slow to respond, but we're glad that they're finally speaking up on behalf of the National Forest.
The Agriculture Department now allows troops to train on more than 1.5 million acres of forest land in the South alone. The department memo contains a not-so-veiled threat to the Army: back off Kistachie or lose access to other forests. Lyons writes, if the Army insists on supporting the expansion, it may jeopardize previously established agreements. Go! Supporters of the plan say transferring the land to the Army will enhance Fort Polk's training mission and, in this era of budget cuts, protect thousands of jobs.
We're going to protect the environment, and we're going to make sure that public access to the land is maintained to the maximum.
No one has to lose a job because of this. There's land available other than the National Forest that the Army could investigate using instead of taking these sensitive National Forest lands.
Complicating matters, Kistachie is home to the highly endangered red cockaded woodpecker. The Army pledges training will not interfere with the bird's habitat. An Agriculture Department spokesman today said that technically the department or the Forest Service, neither one has any technical position on this. What we really have here is a memo from the Agriculture Department to the White House trying to get the White House to take their side on this fight.
Why did the Army do it this way?
Well, environmentalists will say because they want to grab the land. Johnston's office this afternoon suggested the Forest Service has been trying to talk, or the Army's been trying to talk to the Forest Service for a couple of years, couldn't get an audience, so just went out and used Congress.
Okay, thanks, John.